talk about the three hazards: the biological, chemical, and physical hazards. So I will be defining the two hazards, which are the biological and chemical hazards, while the physical hazard will be defined by Jean Maria Cinco. So first is the biological hazard. The biological, or also known as biohazard, is a biological substance that poses a threat to the health of living organisms, primarily the humans. So the biological hazard has a bacteria, viruses, and parasites. So the sources of biological hazards are bacteria, viruses, parasites, insects, plants, animals, and humans. So these sources can cause a variety of health effects ranging from skin irritation and allergies to infection, cancers, and so on. So with that is the biological hazard and the sources of biological hazard. So now let's proceed to chemical hazard. So the chemical hazard is a type of occupational hazard that caused by exposure to chemicals in the workplace. And exposure to chemicals in the workplace can cause acute or long-term detrimental health effects or unharmful health effects. So the examples of chemical hazards are acids, glues, heavy metal that has mercury, lead, cadmium, and aluminum, paint, pesticides, and other substances that has a chemical.
Physical hazard. So according to wikipedia.com, physical hazard is an agent, factor, or circumstances that will cause harm when contact. So here are some examples of physical hazard. Number 1 is glass fragments. Number 2, metal shaving. Number 3, packaging. 4th is equipment use. 5th is foreign handlers or foreign objects from food handlers. And the 6th one is pests.
So good day everyone. So for today's video, I will show to you some equipments or tools in the kitchen and their usage. So without further ado, let's start. So first is the cutting boards, or also known as chopping boards. So cutting board or chopping board is used as a surface for foods being cut with knives. So if you cut some foods, you can use cutting boards or chopping boards to avoid being hurt. So next is the ladle here. So ladle is a type of spoon that use for soup, stew, or other foods that has a liquid. So next is the knife here. So knife is one of the needful equipment or tools in the kitchen, because without knife you can cut different kinds of food like meat, fruits, vegetables, and etc. So next is the slotted spoon here. So slotted spoon is most typically used to retrieve items from cooking liquid food. So as you can see here, these holes here, that holes are the one who retrieve from the cooking liquid foods. And lastly is the tongs here. So tongs are like your extended hands and are super useful in the kitchen. Not only that this is to flip big pieces of food, but they also help move ingredients around in the frying pan or on the sheet pan without the risk of burns. So here,
I will be showing some kitchen essentials equipment. Kitchen stove. So kitchen stove is also called a cooker that is designed for the purpose of cooking food, which is this stove is also contain an oven. An oven is used for reheating food, roasting meat, chicken, or etc., or simply baking cakes. The next kitchen equipment is a cabinet where we put or we keep our kitchen utensils or other kitchen materials. The next equipment is pot rack, where we keep our pots or our pans in. Yeah. Stuff. The next equipment is storage rack, where all your groceries should be kept. The next one is dining furniture, where all your family members will gather up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The next equipment is kitchen sink. So kitchen sink is very essential in the kitchen, where we used to wash our kitchen tools, materials like pots, our plates, our kitchen, and most especially our food or vegetables, something like that. So the next equipment is kitchen steamer or rice cooker. So we have here our electric kitchen steamer and or rice cooker. So this equipment is used for an easy access of cooking, like for example cooking rice. The next one is water dispenser. So water dispenser is very essential also in the kitchen, that will provide an easy access of drinking water, either hot or cold. Next equipment is meat mincer. So meat mincer is used for grinding meat into a small pieces. Equipment is refrigerator. So here, this is where we put all our food that is need to refrigerate, or meat or juices or anything that needs to be refrigerated. Next equipment is the mixer, where it uses a gear-driven mechanism used to rotate a set of beaters. This equipment is a fryer. So this is designed to cook foods or fry foods such as chicken, fish, breaded vegetables, specialized patties, or most especially the French fried potatoes. Equipment is a blender. So the blender is a kitchen or laboratory appliance used to make puree or emulsify food and other substances.